All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Welcome to the celebration of 5,000 videos on the Foods4Health channel. Thank you so much for joining. I know we're starting a little bit later than usual. I was almost said early because last time we were on here, what was it? The day before that, I think it was 5 a.m., but we are on 4 p.m. my time. I don't think there's ever been a stream that I've done this late, but I thought, why not? Done work a little bit earlier on a Friday evening. Thought, why not come on and celebrate 5,000 videos with everyone on the channel. So thank you so much for joining me. Very, very proud of this accomplishment and very happy to have you guys a part of it. It's been a crazy, crazy journey. Lots of information being put out there, lots of answering comments, but just a lot of fun at the same time. I have to say, just a ton of fun and a ton of support, which I really appreciate. And to sum that up, I already see 5 thumbs up and everyone just filling in here. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it so much, and I'm really excited. Like I said, Friday evening, what better than to come on here and celebrate 5,000 videos. Absolutely crazy. We're almost at 10 years of content. We're a few months away. We'll probably have another stream celebration for that. But it's just crazy to think. It's almost unfathomable for me to put into words sort of what all the work that's been it's kind of been put into the channel over that time. So if you're in chat, let me know where you're listening from. Say hi, ask your questions. Let's chat. You know how I like running these. I know we don't have a specific topic for today, but we can always chat and get into things and have our discussion. By the way, on that point, really quickly, we're going to be going into the weekend. Probably going to be a Coach Nate show either Saturday or Sunday. I work tomorrow, but Sunday sounds like a good day. And then I want to try to get into some more on Wednesdays. So, the Coach Nate show coming back. I have a little bit more time. And a couple other changes on the channel, which I think you guys are going to like. If you're in here listening now, if you're listening later, this might be one of the last times that you only hear my voice. My face is probably going to be on the, at least on the streams. I won't say on every video, because I know a lot of people, when we've done the polls and we've done some of the other chats and things like that, a lot of people liked the videos in their format that they're in now. But a big majority of people wanted the face in there as well. I think the face is a good idea. It just makes it a little bit more relatable. Kind of gives it I don't know, that extra little flair where you're not just hearing my voice and you can actually see me and we can actually have a conversation together, if that makes sense. But one of the last times, at least on the streams, where it'll only be my voice. I totally changed the setup. I'm putting the final touches on everything. Moved into a whole different part of the house, so I really want to get that going, and I really want to make sure that I get it going as soon as possible, because it's something I've been talking about since, I'd say, the middle of September. So it's taken me a while. I'm trying to figure everything out. I have everything set up. As you can tell, audio wise, we just need the video now. All right, so I need to make sure that the video and the lighting and all of that stuff, even the backdrop, is all coming together. That way it's kind of the best visual experience for you guys as well. It's one thing to put, my face on there, but if it's, not good lighting, if it's in the dark, you're in a corner, probably not going to be the best viewing experience for you guys. But, come in, say hi. Like I said, I haven't had anyone say hi. Let me know that you can hear me, for one, because this is my first time doing the stream after resetting up the whole, setup that I have here. It's quite the setup. Double monitor. You guys probably similar to what you guys have. A bunch of different audio, a bunch of different video inputs that I got going on, and then that's really why I want to kind of figure out this camera thing. I have the options there. I just need to make sure, and we're almost there. I could do it, but the camera just is not of quality. Thalma, thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Great to see you in chat. Thank you so much, Thelma. Hope everything is going good. Hope you're having a great, end of the 2022 year. Crazy that we're getting into 2023. It's hard to imagine. And, it's great to have you here for our little celebration here of 5,000 videos. Like I said, not a specific topic, but if you guys have questions or anything like that, kind of like our last Q&A, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much for all of the thumbs up. We have 9 thumbs up right now. Thank you so much. I think we're going to hit 10 here pretty soon. So it's kind of crazy to me looking back, looking at the first, I rewatched it today, to be honest with you, before the stream, the first ever video that was put up here. Myself preparing beets, and it was actually my mom as well. We were both doing it together. I videoed it on maybe an iPhone 4 and then edited it. I filmed it and then voiced over the video after filming it. Regina from California, thank you so much for coming in, Regina. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We have a city in Canada that's pronounced differently, but hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Great having you here from California. Middle of the day there. I'm sure it's a beautiful day in sunny California. 1 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around 1 p.m. Oh, you're welcome, Thelma. Thank you again. But it was kind of funny, as I was just saying, guys, going in and watching the first video, really having no idea what to do for the channel, which way it was going to go. Somehow that video ended up getting, I think today I saw it had 567,000 views of me preparing beets. And it's kind of funny because I always get this, and I always see this in the comments. Right? You don't, as you can see, and you can attest to, you don't need the best cutlery or the best pots and pans and all the best kitchen stuff. That's what I had available for me at the time. I think I used a bread knife to cut the beets, and it still worked. All right, but you boiled them, I skinned them, peeled them, and then cut them, and then I was using them. So I was showing how to prepare them so I could put them in my smoothie. So if you want to go watch that first video, it's actually kind of funny. I didn't listen to it with the volume on, but it would be kind of interesting to hear, if there was a difference in the voice quality and the sound quality, probably in the way I sound. I wasn't super young back then, but it's been a few years. It's been almost, like I said, 10 years since then. Thelma, if you have a question, my pleasure. Go ahead and ask. You're correct on all 3 statements. Okay, good, Regina. I'm glad, because here in Canada, like I said, sometimes it's pronounced differently, so I'm glad that I got that right. Thank you so much. And familiar faces, it's great seeing everyone in here. Familiar faces, new faces. If you're a new face, say hello. It'll be great seeing you in here. Hello from Los Angeles, and someone else from California. That's awesome. Martha, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the 12 thumbs up, guys. Unbelievable. Already in here. And like I said, I kind of threw this in. I was going to do it tomorrow, but I kind of want to do a podcast tomorrow. So I think tonight is the night and the day to get this celebration up, get it, kind of talk with you guys. I have some decent amount of time right now, so we can have a good discussion. I hope the sound's coming in good. Like I said, it's my first time doing a stream after moving the setup. So someone else from Los Angeles, California. That's amazing. Well, at least from California, but from Los Angeles. Haven't been to California. Was almost there. I almost went to San Diego, but unfortunately COVID kind of got in the way of that. But I'm sure I'll make it out there sooner rather than later. I would love to. I'm starting raw vegan food. Great journey. Okay, good for you. And this is something new for you, Regina. Raw vegan food journey. Is asparagus okay to juice? You know what? I get asked that quite a bit. I think it's just fine to juice. The only thing is, if you're using a juicer, you will lose a few of the health benefits from asparagus that I kind of like. One being, probably the most important one, being the amount of fiber that's in it. But if it's being juiced, you're going to get all of the essential minerals in it. You're going to be getting all of the nutrition. You're going to be getting the antioxidants. If you can put up with the taste, or at least if you can find a recipe that you enjoy, even better, right? You're new to you? Okay, perfect. Let me know how it's going. It'd be awesome to follow along with your journey there. Raw vegan food. I'm not sure what diet you're following now, but that'd be very interesting to hear how it's going for you. But is asparagus okay to juice? Yes, it is. You're going to lose a little bit of the fiber benefits if you're using a juicer. If you throw it in a blender with a little bit of water, then you'll be able to get those fiber benefits. But juicing it is just fine. Just know that you will be losing a little bit of the fiber benefits. But yep, that's just, there's nothing wrong that I see with that. Especially with raw vegan and things like that. If you're following a keto diet, maybe you would switch up just a little bit, but I think that's great. You're going to be getting a lot of nutrition in there. Beautiful state. That's what I've heard. I've heard nothing but good things. Everyone is saying, drink this first thing in the morning. You can only drink one thing first. So what do you suggest as the great number one? That's interesting question, Thelma. Well, to be honest, you know what? My first meal of the day, drink this first thing in the morning. I don't know, my coffee? Probably my coffee would be the first thing. But you will hear a lot of people, suggest that you have apple cider vinegar or you have lemon juice or some sort of green juice, something along those lines, a smoothie. My first meal of the day, if I am going to drink it, it's going to be a protein shake. I don't think you can go, as long as you're getting, good calories, good macronutrients, all of your micronutrients. I don't think there really, is a number one. Right? A lot of people might claim that there is, but, a lot of them are just so good. I mean, if you're having, let's say, for instance, if you're having a smoothie, all right, so let's say a meal replacement smoothie, maybe I'll use mine, for example, all right, there's going to be spinach, blueberries, maybe half a banana, a little bit of whey protein or maybe vegan protein, whatever it is, collagen protein, right? What else do I throw in there? Maybe some hemp seeds, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that shake. I'm getting proteins, healthy carbs, because sometimes I'll throw oatmeal in there, as you guys know, a huge oatmeal fan. Okay, sometimes I'll throw a little bit of oatmeal in there, but hemp seeds, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that smoothie. Now, also, a lot of times if I'm not working out, I don't drink my first meal. I try to get something a little bit more substantial. If I'm working out, I want something quick. I can, I'll make it the night before. I'll have it very fast, and then I can go on to my workout. But a lot of the times, if I'm not working out, it'll be like eggs or something like that. But it's just kind of interesting to me when you say drink this first thing in the morning, because you do, and even myself, you can drink this. All right, you'll see videos like that up on this channel. Does that mean it's the best? Nope. There's a lot of different choices out there, and a lot of them are good for their own reasons, and I think a lot of them are just fine. You can really go with any of them, Thelma. So whether it be, asparagus juice, whether it be the smoothie that I just mentioned, if it fits into your macronutrients, into your micronutrient needs, then I think that is just fine. I'm currently vegan cooked food. Okay, nice. So, if you're doing vegan and that works for you, Regina, then that's awesome. Like I say, and if you've been listening to my streams or following the channel, any number of these videos, I never really truly promote one diet. I think the best diet is the one that you can stick to, the one that you can hit your goals with, and the one that you enjoy the most. Okay, so I think that's, maybe little tweaks here and there if we're dealing with some sort of, I was doing some research on inflammatory bowel disease today. All right, so IBD. All right, now if you're dealing with, colitis or Crohn's disease, of course you're gonna have to make some tweaks in your diet. But for the most part, if you're not dealing with something like that, or metabolic syndrome, or trying for weight loss, then, stick to just healthy foods, all right, that you enjoy and that you can maintain for the rest of your life while maintaining a healthy lifestyle. I think that works. Just working with hundreds of clients, not only just here talking with you guys, but like I said, if you're new to the channel, that's my job. That's my business, is working with clients as a nutritionist and as a trainer and coach. So, just working with hundreds, if not thousands of people, that's just always been the experience that I've seen that's worked best for people. People get so tied down and so bogged down with having to follow this, or, if they're not eating this food, then they're failing, or if they're fitting this into their diet or not following this diet, then they're doing something wrong. Once you start making food a chore and you start making this weird relationship with food that it has to be perfect, that's when you start to see people fall off just a little bit. Okay? And that's my own experience. You could agree, you can disagree, that's fine. We can disagree. Disagreements are all part of the discussion. I'm sure not everyone agrees with what I say. There might be disagreements with what other people say, but at the end of the day, we're learning from each other. But I think, and I think another big point to that is if you're having to restrict yourself in your diet, right? If you're having to restrict yourself so much that you don't enjoy it, because I had a lot of people, and this is where we kind of get into the disagreements, and I've been called anti-keto by some people in the past, and I'm definitely not. I have clients this week that are wanting to try keto, and clients this week that want to do intermittent fasting. We've had discussions about it. And again, it just goes back to the philosophy of whatever works best for them and whatever they can maintain. But for them, it was not something that they could maintain, because for them, it sounds great. All right, I'm going to lose weight. I want to lose weight. A bunch of people I know, or at least I've heard or read about, have lost weight on a keto diet. I want to get into ketosis. I want to start using fat as energy. That all sounds amazing, and it is amazing. If you can stay in ketosis, right? Would I recommend it for a long period of time? Probably not. Right? You can switch in and out. But I did 3 months last year, and it was okay. I didn't love the diet, I'll be honest. But I think for them, they got so bogged down with just hearing all of the benefits. But when you put it into perspective, and I'm telling them, all right, well, are you willing to only eat 30 grams of carbohydrates a day? Because for them, that's their breakfast. Even more than that, it's like 50. They're starting their day with an English muffin or with toast or something along those lines. Or are you okay with not eating an apple or a banana for the day? When you ask them that question, all right, keto goes right out the door. So, they might have been thinking this, been on the keto bandwagon for 2 weeks, but as soon as you bring up, well, are you going to be able to give up having a banana every single day, or, putting a banana in your smoothie, whatever it might be? If not, then it's just not the right one for you, because you won't be in ketosis if you do that. You're not going to be on a ketogenic diet if you're not doing that. You have to follow the rules. Unfortunately, I don't make the rules. I'm just the bearer of bad news usually for most individuals. But again, see nothing wrong with keto if you can stick to it. I was diagnosed with lupus and hypothyroidism. Lifestyle change, nice. Nice, not nice with the lifestyle change. Not with the lupus and obviously hypothyroidism, but Regina, let me know how it's working for you, because I'm trying to, like I said, with some of the people on this channel, they'll come and they'll go, and there's some people who are, and that's fine, obviously, but it's always nice to kind of follow a journey and see how people are reacting to certain diets. There's someone on here, I won't mention the name just because they're not in the chat right now, I don't think, but they were going to follow a certain diet, and I know it was a hard one. It's always a hard one to follow. So I said, well, let me know how you're doing in a week or two. And then within a week or two, they had changed the diet because it was a little bit tough and it wasn't for them. But I think we need to understand, guys, if it's not for you, it's not for you. There's tons of ways of eating. Just get good calories. Make sure you're not, if you're trying to lose weight, don't starve yourself. Just eating. You got to eat in a deficit, obviously, or be in a deficit, right? Whether through exercise or eating in a deficit, both are in and of the same. But baby steps, guys. And I think that's what this channel has sort of been built around. With the 5,000 videos, there's tons of information. People will ask me questions all the time, but I think if you guys, did a search, if you click on the videos tab, and then I think there's a little search function on there, I'm sure that there is a video on there that will come up and maybe answer your question, or at least give you some ideas on some foods, or at least some information on some foods. So it's great to see you guys in here, and great to see you guys engaging. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And like I said, things are going to be changing a little bit around here. My face will be up on stream, at least for, like I said, our chats, and maybe even for our videos, because I really want to, we always got to change the direction of the, 10 years ago, the content on YouTube was much different, right? We switched it over. I guess I was doing, you guys saw the thumbnails. If you go back and look at the first ones, I was doing voiceovers. We were doing almost PowerPoint slide presentations. Then we started doing it without the voiceovers and just music and typing. And then I'd say probably in 2016, I've been voicing the videos over. So for about, 6 years now, almost 7 years, voicing over all of the videos. So I write all the videos, I research all the videos, I write all the videos out, I voice them over, and then edit them. All right, that's all myself. So I guess we've sort of been changing a little bit, from those first 3 years into the 6 years. Oh, that's okay, Regina. Sorry, I had to go back to work, was on lunch. I will connect again. That sounds great. I know you're in California, 1:30 out there. I'm sure it's time for work. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Definitely connect again. Would love to hear how the vegan diet's going for you. But thank you so much for coming in and sharing. I appreciate it. But sorry, excuse me. Like I said, it's kind of always changing. I think it's almost time for another change. Adding a little bit of video on the daily videos, even a little bit onto the stream, I think would be nice. Not only for yourself, but for myself as well. I kind of get excited by, switching things up, trying new things, right? Staying with the same process is nice, and we get comfortable doing the same thing. I could do, those videos how I do them right now every single day. But I think I would like to switch the format up, especially, now that we have over 5,000 videos of the exact same, not the exact same format, but a lot of the videos are the same. Thousands, right, are the same. I think it's about time for a change. You can change as much as you like, as long as you still keep coming around. Well, thank you, Thelma. I definitely will. I'm not going anywhere. Trust me. And like I said, I just moved my setup, so I can get on even more. You guys are going to be here having even more streams. I won't overdo it. Don't worry. I won't overburden you guys. But there'll be more streams. There'll be more videos. My face will be on them now. Just got to figure one last part out, and then we'll be good to go with that. Susan, great to see you. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming in, Susan. Thelma, Susan, I appreciate you. I know Regina had to go, but thank you so much, Susan, for popping in and celebrating 5,000 videos on the channel. It's saying that is really kind of odd. I'm not sure of many other. I was trying to think, of other channels that would have that many videos on it. I'd be hard pressed to find them. I'm sure they're out there, but that's a lot of videos to put up. There was a point where we were putting up quite a few videos in a day. Now again, just with my own growth outside of YouTube and my own business and things like that, of course the videos are going to slow down a little bit. But the reason why I made the move up here is because now I want to make sure that I can get as much content as possible to you guys. Again, switching gears, because we went from, if you watch that first video and then compare it to one that maybe you saw in 2017, and then maybe one from this week, we added the podcast. When did I start doing my first podcast? I think it was almost 2 years ago now. That is unbelievable. I think it was sometime in like January or February. That'll be almost the 2-year mark. It seems like I've been doing the live streams forever, since day one. But really, it'll be coming up to 2 years, and we've done probably, 100, easily over 100 of them, maybe hundreds. So long form videos as well, all right, and chats, and constantly add. So my point is that we're constantly adding new things, constantly adding new ideas to this channel, and I think the next switch up will be, being on camera, all right, and that's how I would like to do it, having myself on camera and then being able to share information that way rather than just reading, all right, to you guys. I would love to just go through my research, show you the research, and then present it in that way. I think it would be nice for you guys, because then you can not only hear but you can see as well, all right? And I think both go just so well. The videos that I like, they'll do that a lot of the times. I mean, from the comments that I get, and even from other content creators, if it's a 2-minute video or a 3-minute video like I'm putting out, a lot of the times they like that. It's like in and out, nice and quick. They don't have to sit there for 12 minutes. They get the quick information and then they can move on. But we can still do that with my face still on the stream or on the videos. But it's just been kind of interesting as I was thinking back. And thank you so much, everyone who's come in, and thank you so much for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I know this is a time that we don't usually stream. I don't know if there's any European friends in chat right now. I know for most of you it's probably like 9:30, maybe 10:30, 11-ish your time. So I know this is a little bit later for you, but we got on at Friday at 4 on my time. So I really wanted to do a podcast this weekend. So if there is anyone from Europe, let me know, because it'd be a pleasure to have you listening and to know that you're up late listening. So I think it would be very interesting, because I do know that there is a lot, even from Australia. I get a lot of comments from India, a ton of comments. I think one of the most, I know India is one of the most viewed areas, other than the United States. It might even be more than Canada, where I'm from. So if you're in chat, say hi. Feel free to ask questions. It's always a pleasure, to answer your guys' questions as well. But yeah, like I was saying, I think I'm ready for a change. You guys are probably ready for a change as well. Like Thelma said, as long as I keep coming around, then that's fine. And like I said, I'll be here. I don't think I'm going anywhere soon at least. Now the other thing, I am so glad that you stream now, dear. Well, thank you, Thelma. I appreciate it. The streams have been going good. I'm glad to stream now as well. I think I'll like it with my face on, and I think I'll enjoy it. I have a setup that I kind of have in mind, a 2-camera setup that I think you guys are going to enjoy. It's way different than anything I've done on the channel before. So, I don't want to make it too Hollywood or anything like that, but just some ideas that I think you guys are going to like, and just being able to present the information in a better way, in a more engaging way, which I think you guys will really like. But yeah, I don't see myself going anywhere. And I just want to thank everyone for the support, just coming in. I know it's kind of usually time for streaming is when I just got out of bed. I know it's true, Thelma. It's usually in the morning, and the reason why I do that, and that's why I just got myself my own setup here, is now I can stream whenever I want. Well, almost whenever I want, but it doesn't have to be in the morning. I was kind of tied to almost like a 7 a.m. or sometimes a 5:30 a.m. having to stream then in the morning, but now it can be 10 a.m., it can be 2, it can be 4, all right? Maybe even at nighttime, who knows? It'll be, I'll let you guys know For the podcast, though, there'll be a set time. That way you guys know every single week what time I'll be streaming at and what the topics will be. So I think, like I said, I was doing some research on inflammatory bowel disease today. So colitis and Crohn's disease. That might be our next topic for the Coach Nate podcast, where we'll actually have a topic. We'll sit down. We'll talk about, what it is, what causes it, what are some treatments, what are some foods you might want to avoid, what are some foods you might want to stick to. I think that's all great. I learned a lot today, and I think you guys will learn a lot and be able to ask your questions around that. If you're not dealing with that, of course you can come in and ask your own questions as well. Thalma, you live in Florida. I remember you saying that. That stuck out to me, and I have, because I remember telling you that I've been to Florida myself. Only once, though, surprisingly. A lot of Canadians go to Florida quite often. I've only been there once, but it was a great time. Really enjoyed myself in Florida. I was in your typical area, but yeah, great time. But again, just a big thank you to everyone. Over the years, it's really, I don't know, it's one of those things where YouTube, it's so funny with, everyone gets all caught up in the algorithms and, putting up content and making sure you do this. I think for me, the algorithm's important. Yeah, you want people watching your videos. But for me, I think it's just making the best quality videos that you can. I think that's what my main thing is. Like I said, YouTube isn't my job. My main job, all right? It's nice to get views. I think everyone on YouTube, if you're going to put in the work, you want to have people watching it. But for me, I want people getting value out of it. AI, thank you so much for coming in. Great to see you. Absolutely great to see you. Yes, you caught me live. It's a little different time. I think I knew some people would be surprised with the time change, because I even said today to someone close to me, I've never streamed this late before. I've never done a stream at 4 p.m. In fact, my last stream, or 2 streams ago, was almost 12 hours earlier than this. We were on just before 5 a.m. So I think it's a little bit of a switch up. Maybe some people are surprised. I know not everyone will get the notification. I know it won't go out in all that algorithm stuff that I just mentioned, but that's okay. It goes up on the channel anyway, so it'll be there for people to listen to. But as I was saying, people get so caught up in this algorithm and all that. At the end of the day, here is my goal moving forward with the channel. I mean, yeah, the views, fine. Now there's not someone else from California. All right, we got Florida and California representing really hard in the chat today. And I need to make it to California. That's like the next state that I want to go to. Florida was awesome. I've been to a ton of states in the U.S. A ton of them, but just the West Coast, not so as many. I'll probably go back to Florida at some point, Thalma, in Tampa. So you're kind of close to Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. West Coast of the state. I'm trying to think back. It's been a little while since I've been there. Yeah, I have to make it out to California. I was saying earlier I was supposed to go to California, but COVID kind of shut that down right at the last second. So unfortunately, I couldn't make it out there to California. But I most likely will make it out there sooner rather than later. At least I would love to. I would love to make it out there. Yes, I know. Great produce. Even Florida had some really, really good stuff as well. Yeah, 100%. We get a lot of the produce from both those 2 states, by the way, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But again, the big thing moving forward, I think I want to put out more content. Not so much where it's overburdening the channel, where the subscribers are, where you're just inundated with information. I think putting out more high quality content, I think, is one big goal that I have. All right, that's going to be a huge one. And I think the other one is just providing as much good information. Like when I was doing my research today for inflammatory bowel disease, all right, yeah, you can look up, you can Google search and things like that, but it's good to cross section that with different types of studies. So, when I was doing it in a video that I want to do, I'm just kind of giving you the little inside scoop here, but I found 3 really good studies on the topic that I wanted to talk about, having to do with inflammatory bowel disease. And it's those types of videos that I really want to focus on. Yes, it's easy. You can find anything out there just by Googling it. But, some of the studies are really, really interesting. And I like the ones that are cited the most. I like the ones that have a ton of citations in them, so I know that it's a good quality study. And I'll sit there and I'll read the whole entire study. A lot of them aren't that long. That's the thing about nutrition. I come from a background where a lot of the studies are, some of them are up to like 75 to 100 pages. A lot of the nutrition ones are a lot shorter and a lot easier to follow. Maybe just because I've been doing it for so long, but a lot easier to follow than some of the other ones in my initial job and background. So, I don't mind reading through nutrition when it comes to inflammatory bowel disease or, nutrient deficiencies and things like that. Now I'm really letting open the curtain, but reading those types of studies, that's what I really, really enjoy. That's the type of information I want to give to you guys. And as long as you guys are finding value with it, and I think the way that I'm going to switch up the videos now, again, not all of them, because I know some people do like the videos that I'm doing now, just, quick, easy pictures. But I think it's time for a little bit of a change, almost like a growth in the video quality. And I've been thinking about that for a while. I probably first brought it up on stream last spring, maybe even earlier, maybe even around like Christmas, that I wanted to, maybe like February or something like that I really wanted to sort of, start getting on, because I did the face reveal just before, well, I guess it was around Christmas last year. And then after that, that kind of got the wheels in motion of wanting to get on camera a lot more. And so I think that's one of my goals moving forward. The other big goal too is, and you guys let me know, because you guys are sort of, I'm making the content for you guys, but dealing with fitness related issues, dealing with pain related issues, if anyone's dealing, let's say with a lower back or anything, with knee pain or anything like neck pain, shoulder pain, whatever it is. I've dealt with clients with all of those types of things, like videos where it's like the 5 best ways to sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Really nice comments as I'm speaking here. Just like the 5 best stretches for your lower back, or 5 exercises to strengthen your core, which can help with lower back as well. All right, so lumbar spine, I've dealt with a lot of individuals with lumbar spine issues. So like L3, I think someone maybe with like L1, all right, L5. So a couple videos with that, sort of expanding just a little bit, because I know some individuals, I've gotten questions on it, if they're dealing with lower back pain or knee pain. So maybe branching off and doing some videos like that. And of course, I would have to be on camera for that. I would be actually demonstrating the exercises or the stretches, whatever it may be. And these aren't hardcore, exercises. These aren't exercises where you have to go into the gym. All right, you can do them from home. You can do them with a band. All right, I have a really good sort of product up on my Amazon product link, where it's like 5 bands for $20, and I could show you 100 exercises to do with those bands. What's today? Friday? Yesterday I was using them. So maybe going in that sort of fitness, because it's all a journey. If we're thinking wellness here, yes, diet and diet and food and nutrients and macronutrients and foods that can help with diabetes, foods that can help with fight against heart disease. That's all important too, but lifestyle changes are huge as well. I enjoy listening to you speaking. Please never stop. Thank you, Thelma. I appreciate the compliment. And I'm going to go for a little while today. AI, how can I find your ebook, my friend? Well, thank you. Thank you for asking, AI. So my ebook, I'm not sure if you saw, I guess it was the stream where I talked about the benefits of working with a nutritionist and trainer. I was showing the ebook on that stream, and I was kind of scrolling through it just a little bit. I mean, I could pop it back up here. I have it saved as a PDF. The ebook comes free for those individuals that sign up as a Fit Team member. So who click the join button and become a Fit Team member, then that ebook is free to you and emailed to you. So all the Fit Team members, they've been in here before. They get that nice little icon in here. And by the way, the Fit Team members that haven't got it, please send me an email, foods4health1@gmail.com, just in case there's anyone who haven't got it. But for that ebook, it's a free perk as someone who's joined the Fit for Life team member section. So that little join button, at least for me, it's at the bottom of the video, AI. For you, it might be a little bit different. I know some people it's on top, some people in the right corner by the thumbs up and thumbs down area. But that's the best way to get it. There's another way. You can also get it through Patreon, but I always promote through the Fit Team member section here on YouTube. And then again, like I was saying too, that ebook, that's something again that I was talking about, changes and adding things to the channel. I'm really proud of that ebook, and I got a lot of good feedback from the people who were able to read that ebook, and I made sure to follow up with them. And I think it's interesting. It's a nice guide to, one, keeping it simple, but then also a lot of my philosophical ideas on whether it be building a diet. And again, when I talk about diet, I'm not talking about losing weight. I'm just talking about the foods that you're eating on a day-to-day basis. What are the foods that are consisting in your diet? Everyone always thinks or at least when you hear diet, it's like, okay, diet to lose weight. We're just talking about diet, the foods that make up your day-to-day eating habits. But I go through all that. I go through, with my own experience, the things that I think will help you be successful with creating a healthy diet for yourself. I go through some foods. I go through carbs. I go through, proteins. I go through pretty much everything, but a lot of it is even broken down philosophically, again, not getting bogged down, not following the trends if it's not for you. Okay, do what's right for you, and do it for yourself. All right, there's a really good chapter in there that I think would be very helpful for most people. It's the do it for yourself chapter. All right, and we have to think about this, guys. If we're trying to reach our own goals, it's great to have support. And those, to be honest, the people who have the support tend to do a little bit better. But a lot of my clients, they're cooking for families. They are cooking for a husband or whoever it might be, a wife, cousins, whoever they're living with, parents, right? And those people have zero or next to zero desire to eat healthy or to lose weight or to change their diet whatsoever. So you have to overcome that a little bit, and we have to try not to hold resentment against those people, because a lot of times that can happen. All right, as long as a lot of times people will think they're almost trying to sabotage them, but we have to know we're doing it for ourselves, all right, and for no one else. And if we can understand that we're doing it for ourselves, right, we can really switch the mindset, right? And we've all been there. I've been there, right, where people are eating foods that I sure would like to eat, but at the time, all right, I can't. Now, am I saying you can never have that food? Absolutely not. There's another chapter in there that says, all right, you should probably follow 85-15 or a 90-10 rule where, 85% of the time you're following your diet strictly, but 15% of the time you have to live a little bit. Remember, this is something that you're doing for the rest of your life. It's not a quick fix. So if you're doing 85, even I've seen now it's starting to get as low as 80. I was kind of surprised with that 80-20 rule. That might be pushing it a little bit, depending on, how many calories you can have per day. But 85-90, I think you're safe within that margin, right? You eat 90%, to your diet, you can play around with 10%, have that, go out to the restaurant, have that, little cheat meal, have that, extra plate of whatever, right? I think you'll be just fine doing that. You're going to be more happier doing that. And there's interesting studies that show mentally, right? You get that out of your system, you're good to go for, the next 4, 5, 6, even 7 days after, where you're not craving those types of foods. I have a lot of clients that will tell me, Coach Nate, I'm really craving chocolate. All right, I've been restricting myself. I haven't had any chocolate for the last 3 weeks. All right, but it's really, really tough to not have any. All right, the thing I'll say to them was, we'll have some this weekend. Right? Don't restrict yourself, because you're going to get to a point where you just go off the rails, and then you have chocolate 2 days in a row. All right, because chocolate or chips, those are like the big ones. Those are like the triggers at nighttime. If they don't have that, then they'll go off the rails and they'll have chocolate 2 nights in a row or 3 nights in a row. And before you know it, it becomes, they're having it every night because they're restricting themselves so much. And then once you get back into that habit, it is so hard to cut back. So, it's not like you're never going to have chocolate ever again in your life. So if they're telling me they're having a hard time staying away from that, or it's difficult for them, then it's probably time to let yourself live a little bit and to enjoy life a little bit and enjoy some food that you haven't enjoyed for a little bit. When will you do a live stream again? I'll probably do it Sunday, I'm thinking, Thelma. At least a live stream with a topic. And I think our next topic, it might be inflammatory bowel disease. I think that might be a video idea that I do, but I would love to do one where we go through the statistics on, because I was reading a bunch on, it was related to heart health and it was also related to diabetes. So maybe something along those lines. I know we've done it before, but there's new statistics out there. The 2022 statistics came out and you guys already know the passion that I have for that, getting heart health information out there and trying to, get people not only to eat healthier, but also to lose weight, because that's a huge lifestyle change that needs to be made if we're going to be making, bringing down that number of people who are dealing with some sort of heart disease risk or one of the risk factors of heart disease, also diabetes and pre-diabetes. Here's a little, and plus Damon, great to see you in chat. Thank you. Positive vibes to all in chat. SoCal, someone else from, I know, Damon, that you're from Southern California, obviously. I see you in here all the time. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it. Kate, I loved your channel. Great Britain, I think there. Thank you so much, Kate. Appreciate having you in the channel. Thank you so much for letting me know that you're in here and where you're listening from, both Damon and Kate. Really appreciate that. It's great. If that's Great Britain, then I believe it's almost 10 your time. 10 p.m., almost 10 p.m. your time. I said that if there's any Europeans in here, that it'd be great to hear, because I know it's a little bit later and I never do streams this late, as Damon can attest to. Damon, this is probably a treat for you because you're always in here super early. I know you're 3 hours behind me, so my 5 a.m. streams, my 7 a.m. streams, they're super early for you. I don't know how you do it. So shout out to you, Kate. Shout out to you, Damon. Thank you. And Thelma, thank you for your question. What time this Sunday, Nate? AI, that's a great question. You know what? I think this Sunday, now that I don't have to do it at 7 a.m., I think like an 11 a.m. would kind of work out well. Something like 11 a.m., maybe noonish. I would like before noon if I can. But if I can fit it in around like 11 a.m., that's Eastern Standard Time, by the way, so EST, then I'll probably do it then. Maybe not 11. Maybe not 11. 11 wouldn't work. Well, we'll see. It'll probably be around maybe noonish EST. 11 won't work for me. But maybe not long after that. I'll definitely let you guys know. I'll put a notification on, and then you guys have lots of time to figure out. But I'm thinking around noon on Sunday, and then we'll figure out a time that works best for most people. But I think maybe noon might be a good one. It's kind of like the middle. So the people out in California, like we've had tons of people in here, Damon being one of them, don't have to get on, at 6 o'clock, 5 a.m., they can get on. It'll be 9 their time, 10 if they come in an hour later. 3 to 4 Americans, 15 of us listening right now. Think about it. Yeah, you know what? The thing, and here I'll give a little, at 21, wow, so 11, so it's funny, Kate, because so I think 9:55 your time, almost 10. Yeah, that makes sense, because I think you're 5 hours ahead of me, Kate, there in Great Britain. Well, it's great having you in here. Thank you for listening so late. And that's the amazing thing too, is like, you guys listen all around the world. You'll come in at different times of the day. Awesome. I appreciate it so much. And that's why I love doing these live streams. That's why I've been doing 5,000 videos for almost 10 years now. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. But as I was mentioning with the heart health, that's going to be a big thing going forward, guys. There's going to be quite a bit of heart health, some hypertension videos that are coming out where I would like to have my face on it. And then you seeing the citations where I'm pulling the information from, because I think that's important. But I saw a statistic where I think there was something in the United States. Think about this, okay? And we already talked about obesity levels in the United States, but also in Europe, also in Australia, right? It's not just the United States, and in Canada. All right, very similar between Canada and the United States, by the way. The United States gets a bad rap a lot of the times for obesity, but up here in Canada, the numbers are very, very similar. And the Europe is not too far off now. It's not, it's not 1-to-1. So I think the last time it was like 67% of Americans are now considered either overweight or obese, and I think the number for Europeans was 53%. All right, so over half still in Europe, all right, either overweight, and now this was BMI, not my favorite indicator, but I think that's quite telling when you think about it. The thing, and 53 to 66, 67, the thing is too, that gap is closing. The lines are converging, all right, because in Europe, it's going up just a little bit faster than it is in the United States. It's the exact same thing with Canada. We're at like 60%. That's why I want to do more fitness videos. That's really why I want to do more fitness videos. But listen to this number. In 2022, and those numbers were from, I think, 2018. I had mentioned back on that stream how the numbers in 2022 were going to just be so much higher. One, because they were just increasing year over year over year, decade over decade. I compared 1980 to 2000, then to 2018, and it was exponential growth. So even, it might have been 2017, either 17 or 18, let's say 17, because I think that's what it was. But I remember saying in that stream, 2022 is going to be extremely high, and for a number of reasons. It was growing exponentially already, so there was already, we were already seeing the numbers just skyrocketing up. But we just also went through the pandemic, through COVID, where gyms were shut down, people were locked down, people couldn't go out and see their families, people couldn't go out and really do anything. People were staying indoors more, people were being way more sedentary. People were eating out more, right? Apps like Uber Eats, like DoorDash and things like that. I could attest with my clients, but also with my friends and family members, to be honest. I don't have any of those apps. I'm just maybe behind the times, but all of my friends have those apps. A lot of my family members have them, right? And pretty much all of my clients had them. So people were we already know the numbers were skyrocketing, right? We had pandemic where everyone was sedentary and a lot of people were eating out, right? They weren't working, they were bored, they were watching movies, doing things like that. Well, just to cut to the chase, the number of pre-diabetics in the United States now, 103 million Americans, pre-diabetic. Right? I think type 2 was something around like 12 million individuals, and these are diagnosed, right? But I think for the pre-diabetes, they had made the estimate, but it was 12 million Americans with type 2 diabetes. Might have even been a little bit more. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head all these statistics, but it was 103 pre-diabetes. All right, so they're pre-diabetic, and it makes sense when you look at the numbers. People who were overweight and people who were obese, who are considered obese, and it makes up 66%, 67% of your population. Of course, you're going to have the fallout effect where you're having more and more individuals with those complications, right? With heart failure, with high cholesterol, with higher blood pressure, so hypertension, with diabetes being another big one, all right? It just all falls into the same category. And I found that really, really sad, to be honest. Just that it was, that it gotten that high, because I knew it was going to be high, but I didn't think it was going to be over 100 million people. But again, it makes sense, because how many people are in the United States? It's well over 300 million people, correct? Like 400 million? Let me just check. So 332 million. So it makes sense, right? If your population, you have 66%, 66% either overweight or obese, of course you're going to have that many people who are pre-diabetic. And again, that's not to blame. There's no blame. There's no no judging. There's none with my clients. There's none with myself. There's none with family members. It's just, though, that's the facts. And again, the facts are sometimes hard to hear, but that's why I think in the next 10 years, the biggest thing that people can do for themselves, and maybe one of the best things that they can do for themselves, is invest in themselves and invest in their health. I'm going to be mentioning that a lot. Invest in yourself and invest in your health, because if not, these people who are 40 and on blood pressure medication, or people who are, in their 30s doing the same thing, 10 years down the road, what's that going to look like? All right. 20 years down the road, what's that going to look like? I think now is sort of the time to change. And that's why I was really pushing hard in September to try to hit our goals, or at least get to our goals. All right, achieve as much as we could by January, before all the New Year's resolutioners come out, before all the New Year's resolutions are being made, to try to take 4 months and try to achieve a healthier lifestyle. My buddy got out of his, yes, and that's the one thing, AI, and that's why I like bringing it up and talking about it. With type 2 and with pre-diabetes, you can reverse, right? You're able to reverse it. And that's why I like talking about it. You can do it through, let me read this. My buddy got out of his pre-diabetes diagnosis by doing intermittent fasting and very little carbs and no sugar. Okay, that's awesome. And that's the great thing about it, is through diet change. All right, so no sugar, very little carbs. You might have even been doing keto, and that's fine. Remember before where I said keto can be really, really useful in certain instances? Reversing pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, that's one of the times that I think that it can. Now, do you have to follow keto to do it? Probably not. All right, you can do it on any diet, but the fact that he was, little carbs, no sugar. I think the no sugar is a really, really big one. Intermittent fasting is fine too. Okay, that's awesome. And, at that point, if it's little carbs, then, he doesn't have to worry about, glucose and insulin being spiked. Same thing with the sugar. We always have to remember the hormonal changes that happen to our bodies when we have carbs, glucose and insulin and sugar, especially, even fruit to that extent. But that's amazing. And a lot of people that I work with trying to reverse prediabetes, it's always going to be through diet and exercise. Those are the two best things that you can do for your body. Then that's why I'm saying invest in yourself. Over these next 10 years, the best things that you can do is invest in yourself. Because imagine prediabetes, imagine where he might have been, AI, if he wasn't, if he didn't, in 10 years, if he didn't make those changes, just kind of kept going on the course. Joe, great to see you. Hello from Mexico, Nate. At 58 minutes in, I'll probably have to watch the replay. No problem, Joe. It'll be up there for you. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for coming in from Mexico. Great having you in here. I'm sure the weather is amazing there, Joe. It's a beautiful day here, but it's cold, of course. We're in Canada. It's not too bad for Canada at this time, to be honest with you. We have the sunlight. We have a little bit of the warmth, which I'll take, but we don't have the heat, unfortunately. Same with Florida and same with California. I'm getting a little bit jealous now. Kate, maybe you can relate with me a little bit in London. I'm not exactly sure how cold it is, but I know Canada and England were about the same. He used Keto Mojo and found that pork spiked his blood sugar. That is interesting. Was it like a lean cut, like basically no fat of pork, like lean pork? Because there is some, and if you watch some keto, channels out there, they'll always and a lot of times, and even if you read the literature, they'll always suggest that you eat the fattiest cuts of meat. So if you're having steak, keep the fat on. Chicken, chicken thighs are always preferred, things like that. So kind of interesting that pork spiked his blood sugar. I'm thinking maybe our bodies react to foods in different ways. And what's interesting is I think there was a study that found things like lamb, even red meat, so like lamb, beef, pork, actually may be able to increase the risk of diabetes. I remember reading that. Sort of, usually it's more processed or processed meats, but it is very interesting that pork spiked his blood sugar. I'm sure he was testing it a lot. If he found out that pork did it, that's the thing with people who are on keto a lot too. They're always testing. You're always having to check like your ketones and make sure you're in ketosis and all of that. It just seems like a lot of work for me. But for some people, it works. Like it worked for your friend AI. And when I mentioned before that I find it useful in like a 3-month window, I think keto can be very effective in a 3-month window. I think reversing prediabetes is one of those. Metabolic syndrome, anything like that, even for like short-term weight loss, just if you're able to stick to it. Not everyone can. A lot of people think they can. A lot of people do what's called carb cycling while on a keto diet. But unfortunately for them, if they're carb cycling, so if they're eating high carbs twice a week, they're not going to be in ketosis. So let's say, they eat 30 grams of carbs 4 days, or let's say 5 days out of the week, but then they allow themselves to have like 200 to 300 grams of carbs 2 times a week. That's just a carb cycling diet. All right. That's not a keto diet. All right. A ketogenic diet. You won't get into ketosis. It takes 2 to 3 days to get into ketosis. So every time you're just about to get in there, all right, you're just going to bring yourself out of it by adding the carbs in there. I'll have to ask him about the cut. Yeah, that would be interesting. The cut of pork, if it was like more lean, what it was. But he's big on eating good fats. Well, that's good. I had one person, and here, this is just my, this isn't for everyone. This is only one example, so take it how you will. But one person that I know got on keto, and they just ended up. There's smart ways of doing it, and some things that are a little bit more troubling when I hear about it. I always like when I did the keto, let's just say this, when I did keto, because I wanted to, if I'm going to talk about it, I'd like to experience it at least. I didn't do intermittent fasting with it. It was funny. I was going to do keto and intermittent fasting at the same time. That only lasted for 4 days. Did not like it at all. Wasn't for me. So I stuck to the keto, but got rid of the intermittent fasting part. I've done intermittent fasting for quite a while, just on itself, not while on keto, but both combined together just wasn't for me. Anyway, when I was doing keto, I was pretty big on the good fats as well. Sometimes when I was hungry, though, you almost just want to eat anything. But it's a lot of fat. I'm not used to diets where 60% of my calories or more, 65, 70% of my calories are coming from fat. So it was pretty tough on my body. I wouldn't say that for me it was bad or good. I just thought it was an interesting experience, and I was kind of glad that I did it, to be honest. And now I can kind of relate to some of the people who have done it, or just some of my clients who have done it. But it's one of those things. Do you need to do it? Well, it depends on what your own situation is. But I think a lot of the times, you just eat a good amount of protein, carbohydrates, good carbohydrates. Of course, there's complex and simple. Good healthy fats, lots of fiber, lots of water. All right, that's a huge one. And then if you're doing that, you're probably going to see results. You add in 150 minutes of movement, so that can be any type of exercise, walking, hiking, swimming, going to the gym, that type of stuff, lifting weights, so doing some resistance training I think is fine. Yesterday I had done cardio. Today was resistance training with a little bit of cardio. So I do a little bit of both. So if anyone has any training questions, now's your time to ask, because that's my bread and butter, my first love. Lifting weights and resistance training, and training in general, swimming, all that type of stuff. I like the 8-16. Same with me. That's what I was doing. I was doing 8-16. I thought that was the perfect window. Some people will do 4 and 20. That's not for me. Same even with 6 and 18, but I like the 8 and 16. That was a nice one for me, because a lot of the times I'm not hungry in the morning, to be honest with you. But I'll kind of eat just because usually I work out in the morning. Thelma, work's calling. Hope to catch you later. Absolutely, Thelma, you will. 100%. I'll be on here this weekend. There'll be a topic that we're going to discuss. I'm kind of figuring out which one I want to do. It's either going to be diabetes, maybe heart health, one of the two. Either way, I'm going to make sure that it's interesting for you guys, and that you guys enjoy it. So thank you so much, Thelma. It was great seeing you in here. I'm glad you were able to catch the stream, and thank you so much for coming in, celebrating 5,000 videos on the channel. Hard to believe. 5,000, I'm up there. Man, when you put it into perspective, I wonder how many. It's a lot of hours that went into those videos. Kind of crazy. But again, when you're passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work. Like, I think each video takes me 2 to 3 hours. So if you think about it, it's a lot of research and a lot of time working on the videos. And even, a lot of those were, 2+ hour live streams. So quite a bit. Not all of them 2 to 3 hours. The ones now more so 2 to 3. But, a lot of times going to the live streams, yes, we were live for 2 hours. But if I'm going to come on and talk about heart health or, what's another, like cognitive function or osteoporosis, or, what are the best carbohydrates and all of that type of stuff, you got to put some work and some time in before going on and talking about that type of stuff. Or you're just going to be on there not talking about anything or just giving a bunch of wrong information that people just aren't going to be able to use, and it's just useless. So, a lot of time going on here, but it's been well spent. Well, thank you, A. I appreciate that. I guess what they say is 10,000 hours before mastery, so maybe I put my 10,000 hours in at this point. But what's funny is I always feel like I have a long. You can always learn so much. I feel like I got even more that I think I got even more that I can share, and even more that I can learn. What you can spend a whole lifetime and you won't learn everything, but I try to learn as much as I can, and really give it in a way that's not only presentable but also something that you guys can take in, get to the point, and then you have the information and you don't have to watch for 20, 25, 55 minutes. It's like you're in. I try to respect your time. I know the live streams are a little bit longer. Again, I respect your time on here. Thank you so much for joining me for so long, guys. I appreciate it. All right, but I respect your time as well, especially as a content creator. I always try to put myself in your guys' shoes. True Talk, you're a close second to Dr. Berg. Well, thank you, Damon. That's a huge compliment. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. He's got some interesting videos, very interesting videos. I think his the thing I like about Dr. Berg the most is I think he has really, really good information, but I think he also has like a really, really good presentation of in his videos. Like the editing is really good. It's funny because I hadn't watched the Dr. Berg video really ever, but in the last week I thought there was one that popped up in my recommended. It was and I kind of knew what it was as a trainer myself. I think it was the one test. I forget what the title was, but it was like the test to kind of predict your life expectancy or something like that. And it was basically just are you able to stand up test. Now, a lot of that time, the test really is, are you able to get up off the ground without using your hands, right? So it's just using your feet. So if you can kind of picture that, guys, it's being able to stand up without using your hands, all right, or not going to a knee. All right, so you can only just do it by standing up and then sitting down in the same way. It's very, very tough. But I think the study doesn't really point out, the point of the study isn't to show that you have great balance, or, that, being able to stand up without touching the ground somehow means you're going to live longer. I think it just has to do with independence, all right? So being independent, not having to rely on other people for things, because if you can't get up out of a chair without some help, there's probably other extenuating circumstances that are going on. Maybe heart health, maybe liver failure, things like that. I know there's a bunch of comorbidities attached to it. So that was the video, but I thought his editing was amazing, and I like how he gets to the point. He does the same thing. We kind of have the same mindset maybe, but he seems to just get to the point, get his information out there in a really well-spoken manner, which I really like. So he doesn't kind of ramble on, and he gets right to the point, chooses words very wisely, and then gets his information out there. He does a good job, and that's why he has 8 million subscribers. It's a testament to himself. So shout out to Dr. Berg. And thank you for the compliment, Damon. That's a huge compliment. Close second to Dr. Berg. I appreciate that. That's quite the compliment, because, he's very, very good. I really like his stuff. Have you discussed the vagus nerves and nutrition? Interesting. You know what? I really haven't talked much about that. Um, the parasympathetic nervous system, I believe, right? AI. That's actually a very interesting point. Or a very interesting video idea, I have to say. But I believe you're talking about um, the main nerves in the parasympathetic nervous system, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so a lot of that, we're talking about heart health, even, heart rate. I wonder if blood pressure. I know heart rate for sure, even immune system health. That's actually a really interesting video. No, I have not discussed that, but maybe that's a video that I might be interested in doing, or maybe even a stream. AI. Thank you for pointing that out. It's funny because as you mentioned that, now my head's kind of turning some things. What's a good way to kind of mold that video or the that video or that stream? But thanks for pointing that out. No, I don't know if I've done a video on that, or at least I know I haven't done a stream. There might be a video, but definitely not a stream. Oh, you're welcome, Thelma. Very welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Inflammation in the vagus nerve is interesting. Yes, very interesting. Yeah, I know. You know what? I would love to do a video on that. A lot of it with those, the parasympathetic, it's all things that the fun thing is, it's all things that we don't have to think about, right? We're bodily functions that are involuntary. So, like our immune system, digestion. That's why I brought up heart rate. That's why I didn't, for blood pressure, that didn't come out to me, but heart rate would be breathing a lot of the time. But digestion's always a huge one. It just happens naturally, which is amazing. Our body's an amazing thing. Even when we're sleeping, the amazing things that our body does to heal itself. So yeah, that would be a very interesting topic. Parasympathetic. The parasympathetic nervous system is pretty amazing, and it's not something I've really talked about all that much. Yeah, inflammation. Inflammation could be quite interesting too. I wonder what, I'm just trying to think, what that could lead to. Heart rate. I do think blood pressure to a certain extent, if it's controlling, how, our heart's working, you'd have to think blood pressure, is mixed in there as well. So yeah, that'd be great. I'll probably end up doing that. I thank you so much for the idea. But you know what? It's funny because the 5,000 videos, I'm trying my best to try to figure out the next best thing, because I think it would be so much better right now talking to you guys with a camera in my face, being able to do like a live stream. And then not only that, but then also bring things onto the screen. All right. So like, what do I mean by that? All right. So, well, let's see if I can find it. So here was like my ebook. So, going over things like here, and, we could always bring that over, go through different videos, what I like, what I don't like. I think some reaction type stuff, some tier stuff, rating different things. I think that would be really interesting type videos. But I think, just going over, certain information and being able to relay it to you guys that way, I think would be really, really interesting. I'm kind of excited too, actually, to be honest with you. Michi, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Michi, great to see you in here. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the congratulations. I really appreciate that. Hope you're having an amazing Friday. And thank you. Thelma, don't worry, I won't be going anywhere. Like I said, I got my setup all all finished. It's only going to be easier for me to actually put out information and put out videos and to do live streams now. So now I just got to get the camera set up. And that should be easy. Like, I'm talking about it like it's tough, but it won't be tough. I'm like 95% of the way there, guys. But Michi, great to see you. Thank you so much. Thelma, have a great rest of your night. Again, thank you, Michi. AI, I'm trying to have more of an anti-inflammation diet. You know what? Me and you both, AI. I think that's, a huge part of our overall health. Eating anti-inflammatory foods, that's something that I've really been focusing on big time over the last, I'd say, 2 months. Yeah, since the end of August, I think, that's something I've really been focusing on, anti-inflammatory foods. Again, inflammation, free radicals, oxidative stress, huge detriment to our overall health in a number of different ways. We can do anything from heart health to cognitive function to immune system to arthritis to diabetes, everything and above. So, maybe I can give a good idea of a couple good videos on what an anti-inflammation diet might look like. Maybe I've said it quite a bit lately on some anti-inflammatory foods, but it doesn't hurt to kind of go over them again. But yeah, anti-inflammation diet I think is amazing, and it's really something I've been, even with my supplementation, it's something I've been focusing on. I take an antioxidant sort of supplement. It's like it has a great antioxidant profile. Has vitamin A, C, E, and selenium. And I really enjoy that. And I've been seeing good benefits with it. Even like a probiotic and omega-3s, like omega-3 fish oil, those are something that I'm taking as an anti-inflammatory. So anti-inflammatories, anti-inflammatory foods in my diet. But there's just so much. Berries, blueberries, I eat every single day. Broccoli, spinach, all of that stuff. Big on berries. You guys know I love blueberries. Eat blueberries every single day. Scream, great to see you again. Thank you so much. Another great question. Have you ever tried tropical smoothie? There's so many recipes out there, Scream. I have maybe a couple of times. I don't do well with the tropical fruits. I'll be honest with you, Scream. And I mentioned this in a few streams in the past. I don't do well with pineapple. I don't do well with mango. Kiwi is okay. But like pineapple, mangoes, what else is there? The list goes on. Papaya, things like that. So even like grapes, I know they're not, usually thought of as tropical, but it's just a little bit too much fructose in it for me, and I don't do well with sugar. So unfortunately, I can't enjoy those fruits as much as I would like. But if you're having them, it'd be interesting to hear what type of tropical smoothie you're having. I'm sure it tastes amazing, to be honest with you, because I wish I could eat more mango. Let's just put it that way. Pineapple, I can kind of live without. I've had my fair share of pineapple. Just can't have it as much as I would like. I can do like 5 little pieces and then I'm good. And the only reason why I do is I try to get the antioxidant, the bromelain in it, so good for digestion. Yes, split screen with your face in the video. There you exactly, Damon. Kind of how I was doing, how I did when I did the face reveal. So it wouldn't just be always full face, Coach Nate up there. It would be, putting up maybe some sort of information up there. We can go through it together, see what you guys think of it. I can give my 2 cents on it, and then we can continue to go from there. But I think that would be really good. I think it would be good information, a good something interesting for you guys to kind of follow along with. Your content is awesome, and also your research. Thank you. I appreciate that, AI. An honest, candid opinion. Well, thank you, AI. I really appreciate those compliments, and that's something that I shoot for. Um, good content, and I think the content's going to get even better. I think the research is huge. I wish I had the camera on. I could show you the research that I did today. Just quite a bit of research today, as I had some free time in the morning. But I think the research is a huge part of it. If you're going to be a content creator and you're coming out with 5,000 videos and do like live streams, you better have some research to fall back on. An honest, candid opinion. Yes, I always try to be honest. Like I said, even with my clients, I can consider myself the bearer of bad news sometimes for them, but it's, I know what their goals are, and to be able to hit their goals, certain things have to happen, and if that's not happening, then we have to have an honest discussion about it. If not, I wouldn't be doing my job. But I appreciate that, AI. Thank you. Thelma, you're very welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for coming in here. I appreciate it. And the 21 thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. Your support means a ton to me. It's funny because without your guys' support, these videos and these live streams just would not be able to happen. Like I said, for a lot of YouTubers out there, for a lot of people who make content, especially in this what would you call it, this genre and this sphere, a lot of the times it's their main job, or it's their main source of income, or it's, for me, it's not. So I have to split my time up wisely. That's why I was on at 5 a.m. that one morning, because I had to go work out and then I had to work. That's why I'm on at 4 today. Did it right after work, and then I have some things tonight that I have to do. So I try to split it up and have good balance, but when you have a passion for something, you fit it in when you can. So whether it's 5 a.m. or 4 p.m., now getting on almost to 6 p.m. here, we're after 5:30. Geez, time flies. You kind of fit it in there. So for me, it's one of those things. I know, the goal would be, if I could make a living doing it, then I absolutely would. But the thing is, too, you don't have to feel sorry for me, because this is just part of my day-to-day job, because these conversations are conversations that I have with individuals every single day on a one-on-one, face-to-face basis. I think maybe AI, that's why I try to be at least so well researched, because not only am I coming on here speaking with you individuals, and I want to give you guys the best information, but if you're doing a consultation with someone and you're trying to grow a business, right, and you're trying to show that you're valuable and you can help them, if you don't know your stuff, good luck. It's not going to go well. All right. If you don't know your stuff, it is not going to go well. And, some of my clients, everyone from like lawyers to doctors, you got to be able to explain it in a bunch of different ways. Not all of your audience is going to be the exact same. So it's good that you're able to explain, like a keto diet, or, maybe someone's having trouble with snacking at nighttime. What are some options that you can have, instead of chips or something along that? Soda and chips. I've heard that a ton lately. I don't know why, but that seemed to be the kick that most of my clients are on. If you can't have those conversations and you don't know what you're talking about, then it can be very, very tough. You're such a good guy. Thank you so much, Thelma. I appreciate it. Yeah, tropical smoothie sounds great. My smoothies are almost like a meal replacement smoothie, I think. And I'll be honest, like, I don't do any green drinks or anything like that. Not that I'm against it. I guess I shouldn't say that, because I did have a green drink that I got from like a health food store, almost like a supplement that I do sort of enjoy, but it has a ton of different things in it. It's not like a celery juice or anything like that, celery with lime or anything. It's just got a bunch of essential minerals, essential vitamins, a bunch of other different things too, like beets and beetroot and all of that great stuff. So I will have that from time to time, not every day. But just when I think I need a little pick-me-up, maybe on like a workout day or a tough work day, then maybe I'll have that a little bit. But the tropical smoothie sounds good. I won't lie. A lot of times my smoothies are like a meal replacement, something that I can drink at a lot of calories and then get going from there. But I think I will end it here, guys. I really appreciate you all coming on, showing your support. Thank you so much. 5,000 videos in, I see 5,000 more in the future, to be honest with you, and some changes to the format of the videos and to the stream, which I think was very, very exciting. I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well, and I think it's going to make the videos even better. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for the 21 thumbs up. Amazing. How long were we going for? 90 minutes exactly, so an hour and a half. There we go, guys. Good time to finish on. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Sunday, most likely, probably around noon. We'll come up with a topic that I think you guys will enjoy, and I'll make sure I give you guys tons of notice before we get going with that. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. Thank you for help celebrating 5,000 videos on the Foods4Health channel with me. Soon we'll be doing the 10 years. We're almost at 10 years. I just checked, and we're just a couple months short of that, but we'll get the 10-year celebration going. Again, appreciate you. Congrats to all you in the chat. Stay strong. Be well. Thank you, Damon. Well said. Hope everyone stays strong, stays healthy, and hope you all have a great night and a great weekend. So thanks again, everyone. Take care, and I appreciate the support, and be on the lookout for more videos, of course, and more live streams.